Ms. Warren, I want to start with questions about your Native American heritage. There seem to be a lot of questions about this, and I want to see if we can clear some of these things up. You've acknowledged that you listed yourself as a minority in a faculty directory. In 1986, you continued to list yourself in those directories until 1995. Do you consider yourself a minority? And if not, is there any other reason then for some kind of benefit that you would list yourself in such directories?
You know, I have answered this question many, many times, and it starts with the fact that from the day I was born until the day my mother died, she told me about who I am, who we are, who my brothers are, who my family is. And I have never used the information about our Native American heritage to get any advantage, not to apply to college, not to apply to law school, and not to get hired for any job. I was listed in a directory as, I listed myself as Native American. I was listed there. It's part of who I am.
Do you consider yourself a minority?
I consider myself as having a Native American background. That's what I said. That's what I am.
The Indians lived all over this land before we came and killed them. That was very bad of us. We thought we needed the land, but for the most part, we just ruined it anyway. And now nobody can use it. That's the way we are. We're pigs. One of my favorite foods to eat is called corn. The Indians call it maize. We call the Indians Indians.
Actually, you have it wrong about what it is I believe. Let's start there.
Tell us what it is.
Okay, my mom and dad were very much in love with each other, and they wanted to get married. And my father's parents said, absolutely not. You can't marry her because she's part Cherokee and she's part Delaware. And after fighting it as long as they could, my parents went off, they eloped. It was an issue in our family the whole time I grew up about these two families. It was an issue still raised at my mother's funeral. So what I know about my parents is I know that in that little town they grew up in, that my father's parents knew enough about my mother and her family.
So you have no doubt?
To say, I have no doubt.
Well, let's assume then that that's the fact, that you're 1/32nd.
No, that doesn't tell you. Don't do that.
Well, why shouldn't I do that? But that is the fact,
no,
is it not?
No, it is not.
Why not?
It's not about the number. There are lots of people who are not enrolled in tribes.
Forget the number. You have acknowledged that in that national law directory you listed yourself. Speaking of Charles Street, but you do think, even though you've said repeatedly you have nothing to apologize for, I assume you agree that Harvard has something to apologize for at least to me. What they decided to do was use you to quell the concerns about professors at law school. I mean, that is a fair and accurate statement, is it not, Elizabeth Warren?
I have not hidden who I am, and I'm not going to change.
This is because Columbus thought he was in India when he first came to this land. Now, some people say we should call the Indians Native Americans because they were here in America before us. But before us, this land wasn't called America. It was named America by a mapmaker who never even came here. He lived in Europe and made maps, and when he found out about this land, he made maps of it and just put his name on it 'cause he could. That's the way we are. We're pigs. As I was writing this, a cockroach fell from the sky and onto the table. I killed it because I did. That's the way I am. This doesn't really have very much to do with the Indians, though. I guess I kind of got sidetracked. Anyway, I hope you see my point.